There's a war going on out there in the streets. People are fighting over bass. They're fighting over the right way to do bass. There's so many different ways to do it. So what I'm thinking is this. I'm going to offer a bunch of suggestions. Anybody else got any other ones? You leave them in the comments. Whoever gets the most likes on that specific way to do it, I'm going to entertain an idea from that person of a video to make. Whatever they want me to do, let me know. But it's got to have to do something to do with music, you know, and recording audio of some kind, you know, something that they're focused on, interested in, whatever. It shouldn't be like, you know, how to make a brisket. But I don't know. We could talk about the brisket. If you're trying to figure out how to make a brisket, you know, we could deal with that. But that's another channel most likely. Anyway, we'll talk about the brisket. So what we want to do is a couple easy tactics. First of all, Jason Joshua believes you use something like a Soothe 2 and you're side chaining the kick. You're taking an 808 and a kick that are in the same domain section, and you're creating space for both of them by making sure you hear the kick and you're ducking the 808. So what you do is you pull up your 808, you pull up Soothe 2 on the 808, you put, for the key input, you put like, you know, kick, bus, douche, and then you send that kick, you know, you take a duplicate track of the kick, or just send the kick using the aux to kick, douche for the key input, and then boom, now all of a sudden every time it hears that kick, it's going to duck that thing. Piece of cake. It's going to make it sound the way you want to hear it, because the way he put it was actually very interesting. He said, you want the kick to be all it can be, or some shit, like to be the best kick it can be. Well, yeah, you do. And what that means is we want to hear the full extent of the frequency spectrum of the kick, and the 808's going to be there, but it's going to be slightly lower when it happens. You're not going to notice it if something reacts very fast when that happens. That's why you use Soothe 2. Use some sidechain compressor that's really fast. You could do it with the stock shit, set it as fast as you can. On the attack, on the release, as fast as you can. That thing should be, you know, in and out. What else? I'll pull up a thing. This is some preset on what it should be. That's the Soothe 2 thing that he's got. Now, what we should also talk about is the other side. You got this Derek Ali guy, another Grammy Award winner, mixed by Ali. So you got Jason Joshua, Grammy all day. You got Derek Ali, Grammy all day. And this guy is talking about the opposite. I'll sum it up for you real quick. He says, you wouldn't want to take the punch away. And in his opinion, when you put sidechain compression on it, you're taking too much punch away from that bass of the 808. And you don't want that. You just want them to live and coexist. So you got to get surgical. You got to go in and make one, you know, figure out what you want to live where. You want the kick to live around, you know, whatever, 40-50. Okay, leave the kick in the 40-50 zone, and you boost it a little there, and you duck the 808 there, and then let the 808 live in the 80 hertz zone, and you duck the kick there. So you're basically puzzle piecing it, and that's another way to do it. There's also, I love the idea of when the frequencies get really low, 60 hertz and below, you can generally center it. And what I mean by that is use a plug-in or something that will work in mid-side, and you're looking to get just, and the Pro Q3 does this, a lot of things do it, but the point is you're looking to get from, you don't want the left and right anymore, you want mid-side, and you want to put whatever kick stuff it is right down the center. So like that 60 hertz and below, all those super low subs and everything become centered. It'll tighten up the middle of your song a lot. So that's a good rule of thumb. A lot of people use multi-band compression. They, you know, the right, which is basically EQ, but with a guy standing there raising and lowering the knobs, you know, and that's, multi-band compression works. And you set what you want to set where you want to set it, and you can kind of have it doing its own thing, you know. And I personally subscribe to the sidechain compression when it's needed, when you're competing. But again, if you're doing like, you know, rock music, let's say, you're not going to do certain things you would do in other sets of music like hip hop or R or EDM or anything like that. Like, for example, if you're working with a grid, it's super easy to take like every kick hit and you know where it's going to be. And if you have an 808, it's deadlocked to the grid also, so you can see all those hits super easy, and you can create your own volume filter with the envelope. Jason Joshua talked about this. You create that, and then you can just copy and paste. Once you figure out where the grid is, then you just grab a section and copy and paste it through. So you don't have to like sit there and do that, but you're creating a perfect envelope that works specifically for that sound. These are all amazing ways to handle the bass. I'm curious if there's any others out there that you guys like and know about. Let me know. You know, I'm a big fan of harmonics, so I'm using also things like R-Bass, one of my favorite plugins. I'm using the Shadow Hills compressor, one of my favorite plugins. I'm using the Spectre, the Waves Spectre plugin. That's a great one for harmonic content. I'm using things that are going to generate basically more warmth and girth and big energy in whatever's happening, like more harmonic information than is naturally there on a lot of low-end instruments, especially. So, because that allows you for them to be heard. So, all these things. You got the tools now to go and fight in this war. More shit to come, and, you know, bottom line, you guys got this. Let's face it, you guys got this. So I'll see you soon. Take it easy. Custom Cut Studios.